There we go.
Yay!
Hi guys.
Hey everyone.
Hello, hello. Thank you all for chatting and singing whilst we were getting things ready there.
I recognize some people in here, so like, hey, I tried to shout out to my group of people.
Very, very cool.
Can everyone hear and see us okay? Just let us know in the chat. Give us a thumbs up if you can see and hear us.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Thanks, Barbara. Incredible. Well, we're going to hang around a few minutes while more people show up. We're expecting a few more people to join today, but we're here with Holly. Holly McCaig, okay. Holly Pixels. Thank you so much for joining, Holly.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
One of the team asked me earlier in the week, what's Holly's last name? I was like, Pixels?
It's McCaig, and it's spelt M-C-C-A-I-G.
Okay.
I wish it was Holly Pixels. Yeah, that would be the best name for a creator.
Well, you know, most people, when they read my name, they put an R in there, and they call it McCraig. And I usually, you know, through these many years, you just go, yep, that's fine.
I get that a lot.
So now, if I could make it easier, I will. I'm always jealous of people who have easy names.
Yeah, Barbara just mentioned your puppy. I think every time we've been on a video call in the past few weeks, you have at least one dog behind her.
Do you see Daisy?
I didn't realize. That's so cute.
Daisy's here. No, my Chihuahua's inside that blanket over there. She's about 5 pounds, so she's really tiny. She probably won't come out. I don't know. They're both sleeping.
Very sweet.
They have full bellies this morning, so they're sleepy.
Sorry to hear Jeff has to jump off. It sounds like he's having a massive winter storm. Jeff,
oh, my.
One of the moderators here in the community, so good luck, Jeff.
Yeah, fingers crossed for you, Jeff.
Thinking of you.
Yes.
But yeah, for everyone else who is here, really hope you enjoyed today. We're going to do some Q&A with Holly. We're going to pick your brain, hopefully, on some of the many projects you're working on. Do a little demonstration or a little kind of inside look at one of your most popular products and how that's taking shape. And just generally see where it goes. They tend to be pretty free-flowing, these sessions.
Sometimes very random.
I'm kind of that way, too. With my videos, I'm a little random, so hopefully that's normal.
Yeah, our design type's random is normal.
It's random.
Right.
I feel like we're kind of getting cut off as well. We're going to have to switch up for this one.
I know. We need to give an option to kind of make them open.
We need a wide-angle lens or something.
Yes.
But yeah, we've got a few coming in already, but do pop your questions in the Ask a Question bit. We'll be able to go through them. Yeah, the lady T says you guys are cute, squished together.
Thanks.
So Holly,
you can share a blanket.
Holly, I know you're working on all kinds of stuff. You've been involved in all kinds of stuff. For the people here today who don't know you and don't know what you're doing, do you mind giving a bit of an intro into your world?
Sure. So I always like to start off with telling people that I was in this like limbo world for years, not really sure what I was doing because nothing was really like working, or I wasn't able to like really click in a certain way. And I guess it was, let's see, probably last December of, let's see, it's now.
I know. Yeah. I can't quite get my head around that yet.
Like around November, December of 2017, I told myself I had to figure something out. Like something's got to work, or I'm going to have to go get a job, because this is just like the struggle of constantly trying to figure out where I belong. Do I design for other people? Do I to do freelance work for people? Do I try to do my own thing and sell passive products? What do I do? Because nothing was really clicking with me. And I decided then I was going to have to try something new. So I created my iPad lettering course, and I did it for free. I decided I was going to do this whole, like, you know, I kept reading about that Pareto rule, that 80-20 or 20-80, whatever it is, you know,
80-20.
And I said, right. So I'm going to give away like 80% of what I know to help the 20% of my business succeed. And because I was so passionate about teaching, and I had been kind of educating throughout all those years in some sort of way, whether it be a tutorial for how to do scrapbooking or how to make a card or how to do this. It was like that common denominator of teaching. And so I said, okay, I'm going to make this course and I'm going to make it free. And I started doing that and selling my workbook with it, which ended up taking off for me. And I said, okay, this is the method I need to follow. I need to be teaching, and I need to be creating products that people will buy, because I'm not feeling it with being an artist that kind of works for other people, if that makes sense. I think I'm just not that type of person who does well with working with like one-on-one clients. You know,
you're the third person that said that today that I've heard.
Yeah, and I decided that's okay.
Said exactly that.
Right, and I think people think when you go into art or you go into lettering that you have to work for somebody else.
Yeah.
And you don't, as long as you can figure out how you can make it work for you. And I decided then and there that I was going to continue to educate people on lettering, and I was going to create products like Procreate brushes or guides or that sort of thing that other people could use to learn how to do it and either make a business for themselves in some way. So, yeah, so that's what I kind of do. And then I ended up adding in more things with the iPad, like illustration and digital planning, which we introduced this summer for the iPad. That's done really well for us. So that's kind of where I've been. And I started selling my artwork as passive, like with enamel pins and stickers and art prints, because I thought I want to still put my stuff out there and let people enjoy them without it being a commission type of a job. So, and I do get asked all the time, do you do commissions? I'm like, no. I turn it down. And I think that when I made that decision, I was just like in complete, like, harmony. Like everything was like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. So yeah, at Holly Pixels, we do that. We teach how to do things, and then we sell products that people can use. And then I do affiliate work, like with you guys now, that sort of thing, to help show people other products that are out there, because there's enough to go around in this world. And yeah, that's kind of what I do.
Very, very cool. Just for the few people and me being a complete noob at it, what exactly is like digital planning?
Okay, so I don't have a paper planner on my desk. I'm telling you, I bought this new computer and everything went off the desk. Because I have one iMac, my old iMac's over here, the new iMac's here. It's like, okay, hold on. So like a traditional planner, like people might buy like the Franklin Covey planner, or people who are really into crafts will buy, let's say, like the Happy Planner, and they are doing it more crafty. And so they'll open their planners and they will add stickers, and they'll add like their drawings and that sort of thing. So now with the iPad, you can bring in a planner that is more of a PDF format that has hyperlinked tabs into an app, like a note-taking app like GoodNotes or Notability, or I can't think of any of the other ones offhand, but so we've taken that paper world and made it digital.
And then
so we sell
templates and stuff.
Right. So every month we put out new stickers. So today is a sticker launch day. So it's February sticker launch day. So those will go out at 1, and we do like a contest in our little Facebook group to help, where we do support for the digital planners. And so I can draw and make things like that, which is fun. So
I love that. Yeah. So first thing is, I think there's so many people out there who it would be their dream to do this full time. Yeah. So I always find it amazing when people are making that much of a success of it. I think that's really inspiring. And also, that's one of those jobs where you're at a dinner party with people that aren't designers. That must be pretty hard to explain. It's like,
it is very
stickers that people download, and they're like, hold on, you've got a career in that? I think that's amazing.
I know it is confusing to people to explain it, but I think having the videos helps to show them kind of the walkthrough of how to do it. And, but yeah, people are learning that there's so much that the iPad is capable of supporting and doing. I mean, I don't even know half of it, I'm just this small portion. And so it's fun to kind of like explore that. And I don't know how long people have been doing the digital planner part of it, but it's fairly new, maybe within like the last year, it's fairly new. Yeah, and so
something that I will love.
It sounds like something that's going to be big as well.
I think so too. I think a lot of people love it. I have a lot of people in the Facebook group who, okay, let me jump back for a second. When I did scrapbook design, I used to design products for scrapbooking companies, and I loved designing the products, but I didn't like scrapbooking. Yeah,
well,
but
this is scrapbooking, not digital.
Right, like the papers, the physical papers and things. So it was always so much fun to see what people did with them. How they made their stuff, their cards, their layouts. So it's the same thing with this. I go in the Facebook group and see what people have made with things. Like they're so clever with their decorations, and I'm like, I never would have thought to do that. So it's fun to see how people use that for their own creativity.
Don't they, as well, with their different styles?
Right. It's so much fun. I don't know, it's a lot of fun. So, and we're learning a lot along the way still. You know, we came out with one set of planners, and we knew we had to do some adjustments to that and do something new. So we came out with a second set like in August and retired the first ones because we made improvements to them. And I'm still thinking of ways to make them better, you know? So it's just a whole process that you kind of work along with. So
I think Michelle in the chat, forgive me if I got this wrong, Michelle, but I think she posted like a calendar thing that she'd made that she was going to be doing.
Like a digital calendar.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, okay.
In the forum, and she was sharing it. Oh. You know, is this a thing? Am I on the right track, kind of thing? So it was. I was like, hell yes to this, because I'm like an organization freak. So yeah, I love.
And I utilize all of Adobe products to do it. I do Photoshop to edit the like photograph of the planner that we take, so it looks like a real planner. The colors, you know, everything. I use Illustrator to design our stickers and put those in, and we use InDesign to do all the the pages, like the calendar and everything. So we utilize all of those tools to put everything together. And then, you know, because most people don't have that technical knowledge how to use those tools, and so they want something done for them. And so then we just make it ready for them to use.
Love it. Well, thank you so much for that intro, Holly.
I
love the whole world that you're building around people on your content.
It's overwhelming. I just hired an assistant yesterday. I was like, I need somebody to handle certain things for me that I just don't have time to do. So it's getting to that point where like, okay, I need somebody to do this for me and that for me. So
that's how you know you're doing so well, though, when you can get someone else on board. Right?
I know, but it's scary.
I mean, second assistant, right, after the furry one on the bed behind you.
Yes.
Right, I know. She's not much help.
She's just nice to look at.
She's more trouble.
Shout out to everyone who's posting questions as well. We're going to start digging into them
please do keep them
in
coming.
just a moment. And also, thank you so much for everyone showing up today. We've had a real good turnout.
Yes.
Rachel just showed up. Hey, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel.
Just wanted to shout out a few people as well. So we've got Angela M, Lady T, Iskander, Annette, Elise, Nick, Heather, Sarah, Tracy, Paul, Anna, Barbara, Deborah, Jeff, still with us. Awesome. Michelle, Jill, Alf, Michael, Joanne. There's tons of you guys today. I always forget how to say that. Ether, thank you. Sorry, Ether. Natasha, Biggie, Jean, Yvonne, Ingrid, Ruth, Sandy, Sonia, JD, Mouseman. Like you guys.
And everybody's from all over, which I noticed when I first came in. Yeah. It's so exciting.
So just a quick question, sort of for my own knowledge, really. Did you guys that are on the call today get the reminder that we sent out yesterday, or have you found us just because you heard that we were having Holly on? How did you guys find out about today's call?
Probably just because Holly's a big name. So
there's me trying to say, help. Last week's call, notification.
Cool.
Perfect.
All kinds of ways that people have found us. So, Holly, are you up for some questions?
Sure.
Sure. So let's jump in. Lady T asks, how did you find your following? And I presume she means like, how did you build your following? And I would love to know that as well, because presumably, like the rest of us, you started from scratch. So how have you built this amazing community around what you love to do?
So when I decided to do the free course for lettering, I also started a lettering challenge on Instagram. And it was like the beginning of the year. So everybody's looking for something new. And so a lot of people started following me through there. And then I started a Facebook group, which I don't love Facebook, but I had a Facebook group. And so I had a lot of people start coming in there, and it just kind of snowballed from there. So the challenge helped me. That helped me, and Instagram really helped me. Yeah. Instagram was a huge world for lettering.
And what were you doing? Were you just out like chatting to a lot of people, and that way they discovered you, and you just start building it from there?
Yes, and just trying different hashtags to get found on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And then I'll tell you what, it was interesting because all of a sudden I noticed a lot of teachers were following me, and
Oh, wow.
they are like a crazy network. They must have groups and tell people to do things and follow people and do this, because it was like one teacher after the other.
Yep.
And teachers are really big into lettering. So
They are.
yeah, they do. The lady teacher,
Like
they share, yes.
They're like ants. They move as one.
They are. They really are. And if one teacher follows me, I'll notice maybe a couple, like more will follow pretty much within the same couple of days.
And even their students, depending on what it is they're teaching, because they will talk about you, you know?
Right. And so what's funny is it put me down a rabbit hole, because I click on like their profiles, and they are the most creative people. These teachers, their classrooms are like so amazingly done and cute and decorated this way.
Spaceship on the wall or something.
I didn't have that. So I started following some of them because they're so creative and inspiring. So it's kind of a fun world. But honestly, social media is what helped me. And I will say this, back then I was posting every day, and it's a lot. But if you really, I mean, I kind of believe it. If you really want to kind of gain a following, you have to use on Instagram, you have to find a lot of different hashtags. You have to comment back. You have to respond. You have to do everything. And you need to like explore other hashtags and things that are, you know, other posts that are using other hashtags that are kind of relevant. So
I have to try and look at other people and see what they're using, so I can
and then YouTube, right? And then YouTube all of a sudden was like, and I didn't go on YouTube to build a YouTube channel. Yeah, I went on YouTube just to host my videos for my blog.
I love that.
I think that's a good way to start though, because it's so huge right now.
And it's grown quite a bit, and I struggle with YouTube because there's so many trolls on there, and you try to just like, don't want to deal with you people. You know?
We talked to Brad Colbo recently. He's got this huge YouTube following.
Yes, I know. I follow him. I love his stuff.
He's great, right? Like, produces this amazing content. Yes. One of his early comments was like, "I don't like your face; it's too big." And we were like, "What?"
What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, and he's got a lovely face.
So I got so frustrated, and I like you know in your head like what these people are saying to you is not about you, it's about them. They're just
it's nothing.
Right. Like Michelle says, they're just stupid. Yes, they're stupid. But at one point I was like,
keyboard warriors.
Right. So I finally put all my comments on approve. So I do approve them every day. Well, now my assistant will approve them every day just to make sure, because sometimes they would attack other people that are commenting. I'm like, don't. These are people who are trying to learn something. Why would you do that? So,
and you're not doing like really charged, dark topics. You're doing like a whimsical Procreate tutorial. It's,
I know, right? They hate that if I say I don't use a screen protector on my iPad. They can't stand that. I'm like, why does that bother you so much? Yeah. But other than that, it's not so bad. I mean, it's helped me grow quite a bit. So, yeah.
So Elise asks, where do you get your inspiration from? I think it's quite a common question. The answers are always different. I always struggle not to sound cliche.
Right. Well, inspiration. I'm very inspired by packaging of products. That is like, I can go to, I don't know if you do have Target in the UK?
No, but we know it.
An equivalent.
Okay. Target here is like you go to Target for one thing, you come out with like 500 things. But there's, like I can walk into any kind of department store like that, and the packaging is what'll draw me in. And I'm like, I'm not even thinking about what they're selling. It's just the packaging is beautiful. Like I've been known to buy makeup or whatever just because the packaging is pretty.
I'm exactly the same.
So the colors, the color schemes, things like that. Yeah, so that sort of thing. And then this year, I really, I was really trying to be more like using prompts to help kind of inspire myself, like using a prompt to say, okay, I'm going to draw something based on this. So I try not to look at other stuff as much anymore. But I mean, how can you not? I mean, there's so much stuff. Right. There's so much stuff out there. And then there are times where, I like right now, I'm kind of in a dry spell. I haven't put anything really new out on Instagram or anything in a while. So, but I think a lot of it has to do with it. It's just year end, and I'm doing bookkeeping, and I'm doing, you know, trying to train this new assistant and doing different things like that. So I really have just been like,
it happens. You'll always have times like that.
Right. So I'm sure people on Instagram are thinking, we haven't posted in a while. I'm like, well.
I love the packaging example though. And I think that's such a great tip because everyone always tries to get inspiration for digital work from other digital work, from Instagram or whatever. Yeah. When you get out in the physical world, it's so powerful, whether it's like print design, packaging, whatever it might be, billboards, like it really doesn't matter. Dustin at Retro Supply gets so much of his stuff from physical stuff he'll buy on eBay because he thinks it looks cool. And then that will inspire a digital resource.
Right. I do. I love packaging. And I've been known to, like I said, pay attention to packaging. And I'm like, that font is horrible. I don't even know what it is they're selling. I'm just like, oh, they need to change that font or something, you know? So yeah, it's.
You know, what's really funny is I studied graphic design at school and I thought it would be, you know, Photoshop or Illustrator or whatever. But the only thing that we learned for the whole 2 years that I studied it was how to make packaging for a perfume. And I remember thinking at the end of it, what did that have to do with graphic design? Like, I felt like I didn't come away, especially now having worked here. I remember thinking, what? But obviously it was starting with the packaging because they knew that was what, you know, drew people in, and that's where kind of it all began. But at the time, I remember thinking I didn't really take anything away from that. But now, you know, being in the industry, working here, it makes a lot more sense.
I'm loving some of the comments, by the way. Sandy was talking about how her equivalent to Target is design cuts, and just to hide her. She's hiding her purchases from her husband.
Oh, yes. These designers are amazing you have. I mean, you look at their previews and I think, oh, I need to go back and rethink some of my stuff.
This is the dark side you don't see, though. You think it's all friendly, Holly. Like, we're ending marriages over here.
Yeah, we are. I mean, poor Lady T lives in a cardboard box and eats beans every day.
That's not good.
I love it, guys. So we're going to dive back into questions. Well, maybe this is the wrong question based on what you just said. It says, any tips for posting on Instagram regularly? So apart from your dry spell, how do you stay consistent?
Well, okay, let me say now that my following count is a little bit higher, I'm not as worried, okay? Yeah. So I'm not as worried or concerned about it. Now, that whole algorithm thing came in, and I think I just was like, it's about putting out something when I feel ready to now. So. But I think in the beginning, when you're trying to follow and you want people to remember you, number one, you need to make sure your feed is consistent, like it has a feel to it. It matches your brand, your style. Don't just put anything out there just to put something out there. Think about it ahead of time.
And just to add to that, Holly, I think people can overthink that. So I know people where they're like, so I need to be this shade of pastel pink in every single post because that's visual consistency. We're not saying that, but what we're saying is people don't want to follow it if they don't know what the next 5 posts are roughly going to be about or look like. Because it's completely random every time. That's very off-putting, but when you kind of know what to expect, that's
right. I think as long as what you're putting out there, people start to recognize. Maybe that's the better word to put it. They recognize and be like, oh, I know right away. Like there are people I follow on Instagram. I'm like, oh, I know exactly whose this is before I even see the username. And that I think is as hard to get to. I think you just have to keep kind of playing with it. And I'm a visual person. And so like when I was working on my website, like I do it all in Photoshop first to kind of make sure like how it looks. And so the same thing with Instagram, when I was building it, I just had a template of squares and would put some things in it and just see, do I really like what this is doing? Do I like where I'm going with this? I thought about it a lot ahead of time. And that's kind of.
I actually use an app for my Instagram. It's called Preview. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it lets it looks like your Instagram, but you can just drag and drop and move all the squares around, so you can see what it's going to look like and fit in your feed before you actually post it. Which is I know people use like Later. Maybe there's another app called Later or something like that. I don't know. I tend to kind of not pay attention to some of those, but I know they're out there and I know they've helped a lot of people. So I say, if you're trying to figure out your brand and what you're trying to do to you know, kind of get a visual. And then I kind of started just kind of putting out like prompts for myself. Like today I want to show a quote. Today I want to show like a photo, like something, like something on a mock-up of something, like a mug or something, like how it could look.
Also known as Holly in American
my Alexa, stop.
So I didn't realize you had a second guest today.
Yeah, sorry. Don't get into my conversation. But yeah, I think just trying to figure that sort of thing out and giving yourself some ideas of what you could be putting together is going to help you. Like maybe it's like have somebody come over and take a picture of your handwriting, because I know like for myself that would be like, trying to do it. But doing some of those things to mix them in with your quote, I think is helpful, and letting people get to know you.
Yeah,
so.
Really cool. I love as well having a content calendar of sorts.
Yes.
So, it could be like every Thursday I'm going to teach something.
Yeah.
Every Friday I'm going to like share a process video or something like that.
Because there's less pressure on yourself to always think of something.
Yes. And if you can't post every day, do it every other day, but kind of be consistent, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or
it's like a TV show. People like to look forward to.
Yeah, they kind of will start expecting it, and don't feel bad if you missed one.
Don't beat
it's
yourself
not
up.
the end of the world. It's just Instagram. It's.
I have to say the hilarious comments that have been coming through about people being addicted to buying our stuff. Raluca, is she plugged in over there?
We're just getting our content.
Give me 2
social
seconds.
content.
And we do like a video skit where someone, like, I don't know, like their partner walks into the room and they shut their laptop and look really like skittish about it. It's like, what are you looking at? And then they go on it. It's like, I'm sorry, I was buying another Design Cuts bundle. And
we're getting the script live
and they're like
now.
they're addicted to like doing it and hiding these secret purchases.
What would be hilarious? It would be hilarious. And I've seen this before. Like I know like on QuickBooks Online, I can click a button that makes things private. But I remember there was something, I don't know what website it was, where you could click a button and it would pop up a screen on your browser that looks like you're doing Excel or something. And so
That's brilliant.
Like the Design Cuts hiding.
Browsing mode. That's so funny. Barbara said you don't need a skit, just record all of us at home.
Yeah, send us a message, please.
That's so funny.
That is hilarious.
Or another one, would you guys genuinely be up for doing like a fake like Design Cuts anonymous type thing? I remember my first purchase and it was a slippery slope from there. Would you guys actually be down for that?
I know Lady T will definitely be up for that because she's the worst.
Let us know in the comments. Okay, we've got a lot of
Oh, it would be so funny.
Probably not.
Yeah, so Design Cuts anonymous, something like that. We'll get back to the people that said yes. That would be so funny. Okay, let's have a look at the other questions. Cool. So Jean is saying, Holly, do you use Pinterest as well?
So I did kind of in the beginning. I used it a lot. I had a whole strategy. Like, I don't know if any of you are familiar with Melissa Griffin. She had a course on Pin. I can't remember what it's called now, Pin something, but it was about learning how to use Pinterest strategically, and how to really drive traffic to your business and to your, if you're like on Etsy or somewhere like that. So I did a lot with that in the beginning, and then Pinterest changed some things and I just kind of let it go by the wayside. So now if I'm pinning something, it's just more like personal private stuff, like I like this room here, I'm going to put this, bedding on my bed or something like that. So but if I'm looking for something business related, like marketing or, like learning some sort of strategy or something, I might go to Pinterest to find it, because I know a lot of those content developers will share on Pinterest and it's easier for me to find something there.
I don't find Pinterest particularly, like when you're going there, I find it not hard to use, but I don't find it the most appealing thing to
it's
nothing matches Instagram for me. I love Instagram. I can get lost in that. Like,
I just feel like Pinterest can get a bit messy and things can get lost, and you end up creating a new board by accident when you didn't mean to. And
I know. And one thing I did learn in the course was, if you are going to use Pinterest for your business in some way, to make sure that you only have your business type boards that are related to your niche public, and then anything else private. So we have, my family has a tradition for Christmas. We have what we call Dipsmas. And so we all make dips for Christmas. We don't do a big dinner. And so we have our secret boards of all of the dip recipes and things like that, or whatever that we want to do. So that's like kind of the stuff I tend to go on there and pin. And
if you get married,
Yes.
Pinterest.
I did use it possibly when I was getting married. Yeah.
Now, I will say sometimes if I'm looking for a color scheme to kind of inspire me, I might go to Pinterest because it's a little bit easier to find some there.
That's how I don't always theme for my wedding, is because I was looking at color schemes on Pinterest.
Right. Yeah. Pinterest is the wedding mecca. It really is.
Holly, Anna said as well, how do you stay on top of all that you have to do? Do you ever feel like you are drowning in work?
Yes.
Or are you just a machine and it never bothers you?
So I use Asana. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it. It's a project.
We're getting a yes from our marketing geek, Janet.
Asana is the only way I can keep track of everything. And the people who work with me are on certain projects so that I can make sure that they've done what they're supposed to do. And that's the only way I stay on track.
I tried it. I personally didn't like it. If you heard that, our marketing manager loves it. I think it's developed a bit over the years. And I used to listen to a business podcast where they loved it and used it all the time. Yes. Every time they mention it, they'd be like, it's like Asana in here.
So between that and Slack, which I use with my team of people that work with me on things, Slack and Asana are the two things, the only thing. I mean, Slack is open 24/7 pretty much. And Asana, like that's how I stay on top of everything. I keep my projects separate. So like I have a project just for planning segment. I have a project just for my like lettering art segment, that sort of thing. So
I think that's amazing tips. But even with those in place, does it get on top of you sometimes?
Yesterday it was like, I don't know, like 3:30. And I'm like, I don't think I ate lunch today. And then I go, is it weird to cook dinner at 4:15? Probably. But, it was one of those days where I was so overwhelmed. But one of the things that I think helps me when I am planning out my projects and things is to look at my calendar and try not to put more than maybe 2 kind of big projects on a day at a time. Because if I do try to do, like, I know, like, if I can film everything in one day for the month, that's good. And if I can edit each video each week for that week, that's helpful. So finding ways to block stuff is definitely the best way to do it.
I know when we're always planning, Tom, you always say, like, whatever it is that you're working on, just make it tangible. Like, don't say, I'm going to do this by the end of the year.
Yes.
Like, set yourself mini goals so you can have mini wins throughout.
Yeah, that was
drowning.
That was a big shift for me, because I'd have a to-do list, but it would be really vague goals. So it would be like I'd just put like podcast
Get better
on it or something like that, and that doesn't help. So when you actually break that down, and it's like, I know I need to write an intro for the podcast and record that by this day and this time. Like, that's tangible, and you can pick that off, but it will just end up getting moved back and back and back. It's in your to-do list. It's like design project, or like my new website, or whatever it might be.
Yeah, I decided I was going to try to figure out, like, at least 1 quarter of the year at a time of what I think I want to do. And then each month, just kind of make sure before the new month comes on that still looks good, and make adjustments. So I tend to, if it's on the calendar, I tend to try to do it, and because I like to check it off, and I like it to show I checked it off, but I've been known to push things back. I mean, sometimes there's one of them. Do you see her?
You're human. Everyone's loving the dog.
They're like, yay, it moved.
Daisy. She's
great name for dogs and cows. So Michelle asks, where did you get your quote, or where do you get your quote inspiration for lettering? And do you use any quote for commercial use? That's a good question.
I'm not a lawyer, so definitely take what I say with a grain of salt. But there are things that are commercially okay, and there are things that aren't. And I know that there are certain quotes that, like, after a certain amount of years, that are okay to use, but then you have to be careful with, are they still like no property?
Rip off Shakespeare, it's all good, but if you want to do like just do it on a mug,
not current,
here's something I had really learned last year, was that, and I don't know how many people here are familiar with it, I would do a lot of my lettering and create the SVG files that you would cut on the Cricut machine or the Silhouette machine that they would use in crafting. And I was selling a lot of those that way. And one of the topics that really came up was that there are people who trademark in the United States some of these quotes. And in the United States, you have to trademark it for a type of an industry. So if it's apparel, you trademark it for apparel. If it's for, I don't know, dinnerware or something, I don't know if that's an actual one, but anyways. So these were people who were finding that we're just like frivolously filing these trademarks. Yeah. And so I had joined a group that was trying to fight them. And so we would send letters to try to oppose them. And some of them would get opposed because it's just ridiculous. It's not fair that somebody would trademark like Bride Squad, or something like that. I mean, just really simple
I'll give
things.
you an even more ridiculous one. So one of my followers made me aware of this yesterday, I think. But I think some kind of magazine in the States has copyrighted the word entrepreneur in a media setting. So my new podcast has the word entrepreneur in it, and they could potentially apparently sue me for that. And I was like, come on.
Well, that's just it. That's just it. And I think what I found in this group that I would belong to that was fighting some of these was that they found that that the U.S. Trademark Office is just so overwhelmed that they just like push stuff through and they're not really like paying attention. Wifey, that was one. Room. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Like a land grab, isn't it?
Right.
If anyone tries to sue me for that, I'm going to find out their boss's name and like copyright that in this setting of meaning like, I don't know, class or something. Like it's so ridiculous.
So now, like, if I don't really do them commercially anymore. Although I could easily write out the word like February and somebody would say that's copyrighted, or trademarked or whatever. So I always say, if you can come up with your own, and you guys know Lauren Holmes, she's really good about talking about that, like creating your own like love for some kind of like quote to make it your own thing. So if you can, that's gold, because it's funny, it's different, and it's you, and it's unique. And
I like the originality. Like her page is great. We're hopefully going to get her on as a guest, actually, on one of the schools. She said she was keen. And Michelle, I promise I'm not vicious. Like,
a little bit.
So you have to, I mean, it's a slippery slope. Most of them aren't going to come after the small guys anyway, but I've seen it. And like my biggest thing is this: don't do anything Disney because Disney will come right after you. And if you do have something up and it's like so you're selling it on Etsy or something, Etsy will always side with the person complaining, not the buyer, and they won't try to like work it out and discuss it. Mm-hmm. So you have to just like let it go. If they say this is if somebody's violating something, don't touch it. So, but just stay away from brand stuff. Don't say Nike just do it. Don't do anything like that. Anything character copyrighted or movie copyrighted, I would just stay away from it.
Yeah, we have this all the time where we create something that have like a really loose link, and I'm always the one to say, we're not going to do it, even though it seems ludicrous, even though it's 99% sure it would be fine. It's not worth it. It's not worth like the whole company going away because some lawyer of Disney or whatever jumped on it.
Yep. Yeah.
What happens?
So it's hard. And I would just say, do your research. I think somebody posted in there, Emily McDowell. She's great with her stuff. Now, I know like in the past, she had a post about copyrights on her blog, and maybe you can still find it. Maybe do a Google search for like Emily McDowell and copyright, and she may have that post pop up. And she'll say too, she's like, I'm not a lawyer, so don't, this is just what I do. Cool. But it's always good if somebody is at least conscious of that. So many people just do whatever and put it out there, and So that's why I've gotten to where I like to draw instead. It's a little more fun.
Or someone copyrights like a cactus or something.
Right, exactly.
It was Paul asked how you originally got into design. So did you get any formal training or just kind of
do I have to say how old I am?
You don't have to. 21,
So
right?
I went to college back in the 90s. So I went to school in the 90s and early 90s. And I went to school to be a teacher, go figure. And I decided, we had some personal tragedy in our family, and I ended up leaving the state, moved somewhere else, and wasn't really sure what I was going to do with my life. Like I was in that limbo world with like, well, I'll go to school for this and I'll do this. And then I found graphic design because before that I had studied print management, which back then you would have to develop plates for your printing presses, and you built you put it on the press and you inked your presses and you did all this. It's the old school way of doing it, you know? And then I found graphic design and decided that, well, that's kind of like something we could mesh with what I already know. And so I did. I went to school for design at a trade school after that. So I was at university before and then trade school after that.
Was it helpful?
Yes, very, very much. I feel very fortunate that I learned the old school way of doing things, because I kind of understand why we do things we do now, you know? So learning how to, you know, typeset things and then build the plate and do all that, you know, develop it in the darkroom and all that kind of thing. It kind of like gave me that overall understanding of how a lot of that stuff was done. Yeah. And then I, you know, started out when we were on the Macs that had the black and white screens, and, you know, it was definitely old school days, but I got to see everything kind of develop over the years. You know, I've been on the original Photoshop, so I remember all that. And yeah. It's been fun. So I do have formal training, yes. But I also believe that it's important to continue training, you know, like if you can find courses and things like that online or even YouTube, just to keep learning.
Evolves so quickly, right?
Yes. Now that I look back at it, I think, wow, how much things have changed. I mean, never in my wildest dream would I think I'd be doing everything on this little tablet, you know, and everything. But I mean, I'm still stuck in my ways with like, I need to do everything on the computer, Illustrator and everything like that. So, you know, I think of now a lot. I think as the people start, the younger kids start doing more and more, they'll be like, everything will be on these little devices.
Michelle's cooler than us kids, I think. So.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'm at the age now where...
I presume that's aimed at us, Michelle.
Once in a blue moon. But
yeah, 40s.
Great.
Yeah. It was funny, completely off topic, but me and my husband were picking up, I'm not going to try and blame him. I was picking up a bottle of wine, but because we were together, they ID'd both of us. But he didn't have his ID with him, but he was just so happy that he'd been ID'd because he's happy. And he's like, oh, I clearly look under 21.
There's something very wrong about IDing a married couple.
Yeah.
He
was like, shall I just go right outside because I don't have my ID, but they let me.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah,
it was very flattering.
Yeah, take it as a compliment, 100%. So Holly, are you good to maybe jump into, was it an Illustrator, the amazing light bulb designer?
Yes, I can. My pins.
Cool.
Yes. I can kind of explain what I did. Okay, so I just get the share screen, right?
Yeah, and then it will do the weird vortex thing for a second or two until you jump into the software. So guys, we're going to take a look at, Holly, you said it was your most popular design, right?
Yes.
In terms of, and it sells as like a pin, is that right?
Correct. So can you see it?
Yeah.
Everyone's seeing that? Okay.
Let us know if you can see it in the chat, guys.
Oh, and I wish I had done all this beforehand, but a lot of my artwork starts with me drawing it in Procreate, and as many people know, Procreate is a raster-based program, so there's not a whole lot you can do with it once you draw it. Like sizing up, you start losing quality and that sort of thing. And this past year, I decided to start doing enamel pins. And my manufacturer needs Illustrator or EPS files, and because I could give them the raster file, let them recreate it, but I'm too control freak of it. So I end up kind of creating it myself in Illustrator. I do have a video of how I show like how I do that with my artwork. I don't tend to use the image trace tools. I like to use my pin tool to come in and set all my anchors and everything. And then I use my live paint to fill it in, you know, do all my fills. I send this over to my manufacturer and he might tweak it, you know, for the size. So if I say I need a 1-inch pin and I want the anywhere it's brown, I want that to be the metal color. And maybe I'm doing gold or I'm doing silver. For this one, I did silver. And he takes that and adjusts it just slightly and then sends me a mock-up of what that would look like.
So I just
Rachel's having one of her moments. Yeah.
She's like, oh my God, I love it.
And my rep that I work with, he's always like, you make my job too easy because you do all the work for me. And I go, well, it's not that I don't trust you. It's just that I really kind of want to make sure.
I'm amazed it keeps so much detail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these, I don't have my pins in this room, but so these are down to 1 inch and they're tiny. But I was concerned. So I do send it to him and he shrinks it down and I'll ask him, do I need to make any adjustments on my side for the design to make it work? So this one is this is in production right now. And this is I call it creative block because it's like having a pencil with a cactus and you're like, I just can't draw anything, you know? And when I originally did this on Instagram, the sides of the cactus I had done kind of close to the edge. And I asked him, I said, is this going to work okay? Like, how are these little, the little pokey things on the cactus? I don't know what you call those. I don't know, splinters or whatever. I said, how are these going to work with the metal? He goes, oh, they work all the time. But he can send me a sample. He goes, that'll be metal. And he goes, but my only suggestion is that you have these pieces right here. Really, I had him kind of up close. He said, you might have some problem with that. So I would recommend just coming in and maybe modifying the design. So we'll work together that way. And then I'll just modify the design like that. So,
do you sell them in other formats outside the pins, like print and other kinds of products? Because I could see that, like t-shirts. I don't know.
I haven't even opened this yet, so we can look at this.
I would totally have that on the t-shirt.
So I did a Kickstarter because I wanted to see about doing multiple pins at once, and if a Kickstarter, I did that. And part of the Kickstarter was going to be that I would do stickers that match them. Yep. So the stickers just came in, and
I want a sticker.
So I'll send you guys some. So
thank you.
These are
yeah,
it's a design.
So these are being made into pins right now too. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah,
so there's one.
Awesome. That look good.
So
by the way, everyone's loving your work. I saw about 18,000 comments saying cute.
Oh, cute. These are like a durable vinyl sticker, and I get them from Sticker Mule. If anybody's
I've worked with them actually.
Yeah, they're fast. They're so fast. And so here's another one that goes with that collection. So it's like, they're called cute. I don't know if you can see that. Is that backwards? It says rooting for you if it's the opposite.
That's really sweet.
The pin set is a succulent, cactus set. And then the stickers are going with it. So I'm still waiting on the pins to come in, but yeah. So I do them. I usually do stickers, pins, and art prints. So there's the little.
Cool. Would you consider doing t-shirts?
I have thought about it. I've been kind of looking at some like print on demand places, so I don't have to do inventory of those. I don't mind doing inventory of small things. It's just the big stuff I don't want to do.
Yeah,
at least not yet.
We're getting some great comments about Angela's hair, by the way. She's watching us drinking coffee with her hair like that.
Lady T just kills me with her comments every time.
I know. You're the best, Lady T. I love as well, you guys. Just keep the questions and comments coming. Like if you want to learn how to do this stuff, because I wouldn't know where to start. Really, this is not the type of design work I did.
And I'm kind of thinking of doing some content on this part of it too. So I list out my business resources. If you join my vault on the website, like if you join my email list, you get access to like people go, what video camera do you use? What do you use here? And I just put everything inside there. So my pin rep is a discount if you end up going through him. I have his information in there. So yeah, it's fun. But this is kind of like my side hustle.
We all have a side hustle.
Because I don't really I don't know that I've really super profited off it, that I could live off of this stuff. So for me, it's fun, and I'm having fun doing it.
I don't know how many people are living solely off of cactus stickers. I think they're an amazing part of your business, but yeah, they're really
right. I haven't really done, too much with all of that. So, but I have done, let's see, I have 4 pins now. I have a unicorn that's like floats with like a little star balloon.
Yeah, sorry,
I have
Rachel just commented saying living that succulent life.
I have a little ninja panda that I have that I did, and I have the light bulb, and then I have one more. What else do I have? I've just moved all my stuff out into the other room, like a shipping station. It makes it so much easier. I can't remember what the other one I have is.
Holly, while we've got you, I just thought you'd be a great person for an upcoming blog article that we're writing about colors. People really struggle with like coming up with good color palettes and that kind of thing.
Yes.
And I really loved your choice of colors. So if someone on the team over there make a note, that would be great.
Yes.
If the team reached out to you, would you mind like being part of that article? We've got fans and Denise Ann and a few people that got the ball rolling on it. But on one of these calls, a bunch of people were like, yes, tell us how to pick good colors.
Yes, I would love to do that. That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. Colors are definitely my thing. I tend to pick a color scheme before I do the design work on things. Now, this stuff tends to follow my brand coloring, but like if I'm doing stickers, like say for digital planners, I always pick my colors before I even start drawing my icons.
Oh, so, you go really early with that.
Oh. It inspires me. Yeah, there's another thing. Yeah,
that's right. Save the good tips for the article. People have to wait Cool. So I'm just going to have a look through. We've got a few more questions. Barbara says, do you sell online or in brick and mortar shops?
Right now, I'm just selling online, but I have been contacted by a new local business opening that's like going to be a craft trade type market. They will sell craft beers, and they'll do like entertainment, like small acoustic type entertainment, and they'll have a little store and they'll kind of work. And that's here in Colorado, there are a few places like that you can, because beer is huge here and people like to have little knick-knack things. So any kind of artwork that I can make that will be more like Colorado related, mountains and that sort of thing, that'll go well in those types of stores. So I'm working on it. Yeah. If you can contract with local stores in your area that you can put things in, I mean, a lot of them are really willing to work with you. So yeah, I
can see that being a good fit. Holly,
I know, I can feel that. Any day that ends in Y.
Yep.
Holly, are you going to Creative South by any chance? You could see that.
No, but I know you and I talked about this.
Yeah, I can remember if we did. I can see them being really
popular. When is it?
April.
When is it?
And I only know that because I think Matt, who's our creative director, and myself, we're going to go. And it's our first design conference that we've done, which is shocking.
Where is it? Where is it again?
It's Georgia, I think.
Georgia?
I believe so. Let us know in the comments, guys. Anyone going to Creative South?
Yeah, I want to know. I want to go to some of these. Yeah. I know. I should go. I grew up in Georgia, so I should.
Get those stickers
out. Rachel says, "What? I should make that 2-day drive."
Yes.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, it'd probably take me a couple of days too.
Yeah, you guys should come. It'd be really fun to hang out.
Yeah, I went to school. I grew up in South Georgia, which is I was right on the border of Georgia, Florida, on the coast. So we were at the beach kind of area. And then I went to school for those of you in Georgia, I went to school in Statesboro, which was not far from Savannah. So I kind of know that area pretty well. So yes, Savannah.
Yeah, I would love to see it. I hear very good things. ADT asks, how expensive is it to make enamel pins? She's got an idea of what she wants to do with them. And do you mind sharing your manufacturer?
So with enamel pins, one of the things I found when I was doing my research was that, and I don't know how it is in the UK. I think there are manufacturers in the UK, but I know here, most people that you're going to talk to are going to be brokers, and then they're going to be manufactured in China. And I will say this, you could go directly, but I kind of feel more comfortable working with a broker because I feel like they know the process, they know how to communicate with them better, and I'd rather pay that to do that as opposed to going directly, because I get bombarded with emails like, you can come straight to us, and I'm like, yeah, but I like my guy and I like what I'm doing, it's fine.
Yeah.
So you know, it depends. So it really was going to depend on what your broker's percentage is. It's not that expensive, probably for like, now hard enamel pins. I wish I had. So my pins are hard enamel. And the hard enamel, so there's my little narwhal.
Oh.
Can you hold them even closer? Oh, yeah. That was so sweet.
So it's my little space narwhal. So these are hard enamel, and that means that they do a kind of like a sanded finish on the top of them. So they don't have like the dips in it. Whereas like some of these, hold on, that I have ordered in the past from people are, let's see which one is safe to share. Some of these are a little vulgar, so I can't share them. So like this one of, I don't know if you guys know who Ruth Bader Ginsburg is, but she's kind of like a little Supreme Court hero. So this is soft enamel, and it has like, you could put the dips in it, sort of like it's the enamel's poured into it. So I'm a vulgar one. But anyways, the soft enamel, which are the poured ones like these, are cheaper than the hard enamel. So you're going to pay more for these. And so you're probably talking about, I don't know, maybe depending on taxes and that sort of thing, a little over $200 for 100 of them, which isn't bad. Because if you're going to sell them for, say, $10 to $12 a piece, you can do pretty well with them.
Yeah, that's good margin.
Yeah, and I think it probably will depend too if the broker, you know, charges you artwork fees if you don't put it together. I don't know, so that might be something as well. So
Holly, I know.
Yeah, so
we've got a few people out there. I know Rachel is. She's getting into selling more and more goods online and physical products like this. I'm sure you're doing 100 things to make business work, but if there were like 1 to 2 things which have been particularly effective for like getting you sales on this stuff, what would you say those would be?
Well, the 2 biggest sellers for me are my lettering workbook guide that goes with my free course, meaning you don't have to buy it, but people buy it. And it's been selling for the past year as one of the biggest sellers. And then now our digital planners, those have been huge. So yeah, the actual planners.
Resources and content to attract people, and then they buy your product.
Yeah, the thing is people want to see how to do things and how to use them. And if you're going to create something that you want other people to buy, use, you have to show them how to do it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And actually that's one of the best ways to sell, because it's quite a soft, you know, it's not forcing it on anyone. It's just demonstrating it. And then they're like, oh yeah, that looks interesting or useful.
Yes. Yes. So like, I know that there are some things on my site that don't sell as well. It's because I never did a video for them. So yeah, definitely want to do videos if you can. And if you can't do a video because it's too cumbersome for you to do, just do screenshot videos. You know, you can record your screen and you don't have to get on camera or anything like that. I mean, there's ways around it. I'm just going to put a link to your site actually. So anyone on the call who hasn't checked it out yet, be sure to hop over. Holly has a ton of incredible resources, like tutorials, just all kinds of stuff there. It's like a little haven if you're into creativity. Michelle asked if I sell my planner on the website. Yeah, just on the website. So I don't put anything that's on Holly Pixels on Etsy or anything like that. So it's just on the website there.
And I'm loving the new design as well, Holly. It looks really cool.
Yes, thanks to you.
Well, your illustration, like, yeah, they're
right. And I haven't touched anything you and I've last talked about. I've been so busy. I'm like, I've got to get on this stuff. Yeah, Tom's been really great with consulting with me on some ways to make some improvements, and it's been very beneficial. So I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, so go check out the website. She's got like this adorable illustrated version of her holding up iPads and that kind of thing. They're really nice there.
Yeah, they're cute. They're a lot of fun. They're fun. They really are.
So, Holly, anywhere else where
Yes.
you'd love people to find you, or is it all through your website, maybe?
So, like I said, the pins and the stickers are on Etsy, and it's just do a search for Holly Pixels on Etsy. You'll be able to find it through there. But that's pretty much it. You know, everything you can find is on there. So you can find me through YouTube there if you want to just go on YouTube. But everything I put on YouTube is going to be in the free tutorials section of my site. So they're on both.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And I know quite often people catch the replay of this because they can't make this specific time. Would you be willing to jump in the forum and maybe start a thread around this afterwards and do a few follow-up questions and that kind of thing?
I will. I'll put it on my Asana calendar.
SJ can reach out and organize with you, but that would be really, really great because I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely.
If people are anything like me,
I
I don't always think of the question in the moment, and then it hits me afterwards.
And I'm pretty much an open book. So, you know, I share pretty much everything if people ask. The only thing I usually say is if you want to know like who I use and what I use.
Oh no, we're frozen. Can people see us? I'm trying to work out.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, there was a kind of lag there. I don't know if everyone saw that or if that was our side.
So
I don't know.
Yeah. So usually like if there's anything regarding like what I use and who I use, I just refer you to signing up for the vault on our website because there's so much in there. Like I talk about like a class maybe I took on Skillshare that's really good, or books I like, or the video cameras I use, or anything like that. It's all in there. So yeah, it's just easier for me to say, go check there.
Yeah, it's a really, really good resource. So everyone should definitely check that out. And we're going to be organizing some specific special design cuts stuff for Holly's audience.
Yes.
So you go and enjoy the vault. Like we're going to have
next Thursday
for those guys.
Yeah, next Thursday I have a tutorial using some stuff from Design Cuts coming out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Did you want me to show them what it looks like?
Yeah, that would be great if you're okay for time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll show them. Let's see if I can find it. So we're going to be creating this in Procreate, and it will be it'll be
like the ombre and the word love as well.
Yeah, so using Ian's letter builder, and we're going to be creating this fun piece, and it's just going to be a desktop wallpaper or like a iPad wallpaper or something like that. They'll be able to make.
Beautiful.
But I would take you through all the steps. So.
What you should do, actually, you should resize it and reformat it to be iPhone size.
Yes.
Put it in your stories, and people can hold it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna put it in the vault as like to fit like your computer desktop and the phones and that sort of thing. So yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yep. So we'll go through we'll do that all in Procreate.
Incredible! Can't wait. So next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Yeah, all of my posts this year kind of go up around 1 p.m. Mountain Time here in the U.S. So what I think we said was like 14 hours difference between us or something like that. But yeah, they'll usually go up about 1 p.m. on Thursdays.
Amazing.
People were asking about their iPads.
Yeah, I think there was a couple of questions to say if I don't have an iPad, will I be
So if you don't have an iPad, I don't think you can use Procreate unless they've created an Android version. I don't know that they have.
I
can't remember. I need to look into that. We're currently doing an article on like upcoming tools for 2019, and they might be working on that.
The new iPad doesn't work with the old Apple Pencil, and some of these Procreate on their like community support like facts or whatever, they have a list of all the styluses you can use if you don't have a Apple Pencil with your iPad that you can use. As long as your iPad can handle Procreate, you should be okay. So,
and then I presume you need to buy like 3 connecting specific chargers at £50 each to be able to use anything, right?
And then a charger for the charger.
Yeah. So I bought the new iPad Pro that came out this year. And I was so mad because I didn't realize, I think I just slipped my mind that the old Apple Pencil didn't work with it. So then I had to go buy the new Apple Pencil. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, wait a minute, this has a different charger piece to it now. And it's frustrating.
Too much.
And then buying, like I I told you guys, I the very last day of the year last year, I was like, I need a new computer. So I bought the new iMac Pro, and I'm like, okay, the back, does it take USB still, please? Still take USB. And it does. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where you just like, I can't,
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
It's funny though, because I was talking to my dad about this actually the other day, saying that I could never go back to a PC now though. Like I had only ever used PC all my life, and then I came here.
Don't say the P word.
And now I'm like, my mum has a laptop, a PC laptop, and I'm like, how do you use this thing?
My brother does too. We have a laser cutter, and we have it over at his house. And he has a PC, and I always feel so awkward trying to use it. But what's frustrating now is, so when I bought my other iMac, 4 years ago, I could upgrade my own memory, and now you can't access the memory slots anymore.
No. I mean, there's all kinds of downsides to Apple, but they've got me. Like, yeah, I couldn't go back. Our creative director Matt uses a PC, and we're always like throw jibes at each other about which one's better. But we all have our preferences, right? So I think SJ is going to give a quick shout out for some cool stuff happening in the forum.
Oh, cool.
This episode has been sponsored by the Design Cuts Forum.
Obviously, it's the new year, and we want to obviously keep loads of new things coming to the forum, to these calls. More guests coming up, obviously the first one being Holly. So thank you, Holly, very much for joining us.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I've been chatting to a few of you guys as to what you want to see, any suggestions you've had, and something that kind of me and Tom really thought would be an interesting thing to try would to be sort of sending you guys off with a bit of homework after each call if you'd be keen to join in.
I genuinely forgot about this.
Oh, is that what you were talking
about? Yeah, among other things. No, I completely forgot about this. This is going to be the best thing ever for these calls. Holly, I know you're super busy. I hope you can maybe even take part if you have a few minutes. So
the first task is we need you guys to help us to come up with a catchy tag name for the homework that we're going to be setting every week. But the first kind of idea we've had around this, which is for one of our moderators, Richard, I feel like it's his strong point, and I don't actually think he's on the call today.
He's missing out.
But we're thinking that you guys could design something around a pun. So a funny pun, a design-related pun, your favourite puns. And what we'll do is create a thread in the forum for you to post them. And then on next week's call, we'll have a vote for the winner. And we'll be doing this obviously every single week, but we need a catchy name for the idea of it first.
So not only should this be pretty fun, but we're going to be sharing all the designs on our social media. We can credit you guys. It's a great way to get your work out to a wider audience.
Absolutely.
We'll be putting it on Instagram stories and Facebook albums and all that kind of stuff. But I think it will just be really fun. We want to give like a theme. So obviously the theme is puns for this first one, but otherwise it's creative freedom. So, whatever you want to make within that, whatever style, go and run with it.
Fun.
We need a name. So anyone who's got ideas, pop it in the chat. Let me know afterwards. Have a think about it. We're rubbish and can't think of anything. So we thought we'd ask you guys to help. So yeah, any catchy sort of names for it, then do ping them over to us so we can sort of get it as a going thing that we're gonna be able to use.
That'll be cute. That'll be fun. Yeah,
I think so.
I'm looking forward to it, and we can do all kinds of cool themes and let people vote on the theme each week that they want to do. But we need something more inspiring than like Design Cuts Home.
I think, and doing prompts are so much fun. It helps people. It helps people like me. I like to see that stuff. So
yeah, when we spoke on the call last week, a lot of people said, if we give some kind of idea or theme or whatever, then it's nice to see what different people interpret that as. Yeah. And it opens up, you can kind of almost look inside their design eye as to how they see that world or whatever it is. I think didn't one of the suggestions last week, was it about the time zones or the country or something?
Yeah,
I can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, something along those lines. So let us know.
In fact, if you guys put like just type yes or something like that in the chat, if you're interested in participating. Before I even said it, Lady T was like, yes. If you're interested in participating in this challenge, write yes, and we can follow up with you guys. Just coming up with a design in your style, have a bit of fun with it around puns as the theme.
So
I love that.
Amazing.
really quickly, Michelle's just asked. First of all, Michelle said hubby's home. For a moment, I thought you meant mine, and then I got really confused.
Yeah, I thought that. I was like, where is he?
I didn't get that for a sec. And by cartoon, do you mean the tutorial? Because we were literally speaking about it before we went live. So Holly, Michelle is the one who shared the result. So I will ping it over to you in the forum. So you can
okay.
If that's what you
Yes.
mean, Michelle. So
Cool.
yeah, we were literally talking about it just before.
So you guys have now
cool.
committed. This is a verbal contract. We've got lots of
I
yeses.
will print this off and listen to it.
Yeah. So
We want to see them all from all of you.
but yeah, we should be expecting like, I don't know, a dozen or more really cool designs. And this is obviously the first one. It's going to grow over time. We want this to become like a really fun weekly thing for everyone to join in with. Get the
That's so
creative
fun.
going.
See you, Michelle.
See you later, Michelle. Thanks for jumping on. But yeah, Holly, as I say, I know you're super busy, but if you get a chance to enter, I'm sure you absolutely kill it as well.
Okay. Yes, I'll put it on my list to come up with something. Yes.
Design drills. That's closer. That's better. I like the alliteration. It sounds a little bit Full Metal Jacket. So that might be a bit aggressive for people. But yeah, something, I don't know. We need something. Ideas are welcome.
Yeah, please do.
We might start a thread about this.
Or do
something
on our stories, maybe.
Yeah, because people, when they put something, a lot of times it inspires. They're like, "Oh wait, that makes me think of this."
Something else. Yeah, absolutely. So then the other couple of things that we wanted to just chat about on the call before we go is obviously, please do not forget the share your work section that we have over in the forum. So I'll just pop a link in for those of you who might not have been in and seen it yet.
You guys are being too shy. We want to see your amazing work. Everyone always said, Holly, can you give them a talking to? Because you've been brave enough to put your work out there for years.
Yeah, you have to put it out there. And you know what? It's okay if like down the road you're like, I've gotten so much better, and you don't want to show your old stuff anymore. You can get rid of it. But you got to start somewhere, you know.
Okay, Rachel will let you off because you haven't done any work. But in fact, no, we won't let you off, Rachel, because you've got a ton of amazing past work that the community won't have seen. So the worst case scenario is you're going to post it and everyone's going to rally around and be like, "Oh my God, you're so talented." And then you'll get some great feedback. So you should.
And be open to feedback. If most people are going to be pretty, positive because they want to see you grow. At least that's how I see things. I want to see other people do well. So,
and we want to help each other. There's, I can't say it enough. I know I say it every week, but when you guys post something, you don't know that you're actually helping and inspiring someone else. And someone will say, "Gosh, I've really been struggling with that. How did you achieve it?" And we learn from each other.
Yes,
100%. And every time we have these calls, people are like, "Oh, like the forum's still quite early days. I'd love to see it more and more active." Like, it's on all of us to get in there and share our work and support each other. So yeah, guys, click the link, go share your work. That would be awesome. And finally, sorry, Holly,
I'll let you explain this.
This is like the longest sponsored message ever, which isn't really a sponsorship.
It's like the ad breaks. They just go on and on and on.
We got carried away with the homework.
I was going to say, you need to figure out how to monetize these so you can make some money off these ads. I'm just kidding.
Sponsored by Holly Pixels.
Yeah.
Enamel Pins, direct to your door. So yeah, the final thing, we posted this a while back, but it got kind of buried and we weren't fully ready for it, to be honest. But we're really excited. We're going to be launching a new show called Design Direction, which is going to be...
Who thought of that name?
Some genius. I don't know who.
Thank you.
So the new show is going to be called Design Direction. It's going to be a weekly YouTube show, and it's going to feature myself and Matt, our creative director. I think combined we have something like 26 years of experience working as like creative directors and industry designers. So we're going to be creatively directing and giving feedback on your guys' work. So the kind of stuff normally you have to pay for to get all this experience and like super actionable, not just like good job, we like it, like literally in a positive, constructive way, telling you how you can
for free,
how you can improve.
See, jump on that, you
when
guys.
You said it earlier, Holly, I was literally sitting here thinking that reminds me of someone else I know because it's exactly what Tom believes and gets behind himself. So
yes,
100%.
Like I've taken courses where they don't give you any feedback, and it's just. I'm like, well, did I do a good job? You never know. So this is so good. This is
I love constructive feedback. Like I say, the positive vibes are all, we saw the side eye, Daisy.
I was like, what is you
looking at you, Daisy. As Holly says, like, it's all well and good getting like the positive vibes, but I think that constructive feedback is the best thing in the world. There's not enough of that out there. And so we're trying to
Well,
turn around.
And you know what? It's good because then when you start putting work out to say like, you know, people who you contract through, it kind of prepares you to just to listen and be open to what they're saying, you know, as opposed to being defensive because this is my work. How dare you say that? You know, I mean, it's good. It's good to do that. So
yeah, we're really excited about it. And what we want is through critiquing and like showing people how to improve their work. Obviously, it helps the wider audience to think about their design. So leave a quick comment. By the way, Barbara, I love Hangout homework.
That's
better. That's better. I like it.
That's good. And you could go around like a whole school theme, you know, like a school type theme. That would be cute.
Yeah, exactly. We get a little.
What I think we'll do is I can like export the chat after the call and stuff. Obviously, it will stay here, but for our records, I will get all of the good. Sorry, Tom, just throw a pen at you.
Throw pencils at it.
I will get all of the ideas written down, post them in the forum as well if you have any more, and then what we'll do is we'll take a poll over to our Instagram.
Ooh, I like that.
And have a face-off. We love a good face-off over
Nicolas Cage. So super quickly, guys, leave a yes comment if you want to participate, if you're going to participate in design direction, if you would want some experienced guys giving you actionable advice to improve your designs and level them up. And yeah, the link is up there. So already get your stuff in there. Barbara signed up. Love it. Sarah, Heather, Lady T. Sounds good, guys.
Barbara's like, I'm ready and waiting.
We're really keen to help. We want like a whole bunch of designs. We can do websites, like flyers, logos, enamel pins, whatever you like. Cool. Sonia, sounds good. Jean, awesome. We'll follow up with you guys, but yeah, like all over that. I can't wait. I love helping people. Yeah, the reason I was on the call with you last week, Holly, you can tell I like this stuff.
Yes.
So yeah, looking forward to it, guys. Holly, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You've been an absolute star. We can't wait to chat with you more, get to know you more, like feature you on the blog, involve you in the articles and the forum. Like, yeah, you're just a pleasure to know in the creative space.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you guys.
So did you end up in the forum to get here? Is that how you found it in the end?
Yes. Yeah. So I signed in and did all that. Yes.
We'll stay there and that thread stays open. Okay. So again, if you guys have any further questions or you just want to chat to Holly a little bit more, that thread stays open for you guys to jump in. If you don't want to do it here in Crowdcast, you can go back to the forum and you guys can carry on chatting there as well, if that works better for you guys.
Yeah, please feel free to ask me anything.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Yes. And final question, Holly. Are you ever going to come UK side at any point?
You know, that's a dream of mine to go over there. I'm obsessed with British television shows and everything. And so I catch myself saying things like, "Y'all right," when you meet somebody. Or, you know, just like, I'll say things like, "That's proper interesting. That's proper."
All right, you definitely need to come then.
I know. I
spoil you. And
what are some of your favourite shows, just out of interest?
Do I have to admit that?
Yeah, please.
So I'm addicted to watching Towie, the only one is Essex.
I love those too. Everyone here is like, God, look at her watching trash TV, but I love
it. This is the only way it's Essex for anyone who doesn't know. It's for people who talk like SJ.
Yeah, apparently they all sound like me. I'm not actually on there though, just so you know, but I sound like it.
And then I love Call the Midwife. Yep. I love them, and I like some of the British crime shows that have been coming up on Netflix too.
They're my favorite.
Yeah. So I do love.
I just watched Luther recently. Have you seen Luther?
Yes, I have seen that. Yes,
it just came back for the series 4.
Oh yeah, Downton Abbey. Can't forget Downton Abbey.
He's got a cool voice, Luther.
Oh, The Bodyguard. Actually, I never watched that. That was meant to be.
I haven't watched that yet, but I saw they just won some awards here for Golden Globes. So I'm like, I guess I better watch that. So
I think one of my favorite shows ever is the IT Crowd's funny. One of my favorites is the UK Office.
The Office, I was going to say.
To this day, like I subtly
Ricky Gervais
little David Brent moments in with the team sometimes.
All day long.
You're looking at it from the keyhole, SJ. You've got to see the whole pie.
When he did Idiot Abroad and I watched that show, I just rolled laughing. It's so funny.
The old podcast with him and Steve Merchant and Carl Pilgrim, like the XFM.
I love those guys. Yeah, I have a feeling like I was supposed to live there. I was supposed to live in the UK.
You sound like a proper Anglophile.
All right.
It's so funny actually because Ali, who does our graphics for like Wonder Pages and stuff, she's in Alabama, right?
Mm-hmm. Alabama.
And she came over to spend time.
Real Southern.
Yeah, and she came here for the summer actually to work out of the office here with us for a little while, just to come over and meet the team. And one of the very first things that she said is she's well into the TV shows, and she was exactly the same as you. She liked all the reality TV, and she was like, I don't know if I should admit this, and I was like, it's fine, I love it, really.
I do watch United States reality TV too. I don't know what it is about. I think it's because I think, gosh, my life is normal when I watch those.
My girlfriend's been watching like the Real Housewives and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't watch those ones.
And
I've seen them.
I'll be there judging, and like, what on earth are you watching? 3 days later, I'll be sucked into it. I'm like, I can't believe she said that to her. Like, it's a nightmare.
It's easy to get.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I know. I the Housewives, I watch all of those. Yes, I admit it. I watch them all. It's crazy. I don't tend to watch too much TV unless it's in the evening. So that's, if it's on, then I'll watch it. But yeah.
I love it. Well, on that note, thank you.
We'll need you all to watch some trash TV.
Yeah, we all need to watch some TV. Holly, thank you again. Really, really appreciate your time. And everyone, thank you for jumping on, everyone. You guys have been awesome.
Yeah, really chatty bunch today, guys. Thank you.
Man,
it's been great.
Let's keep it going. Let's make this forum better and better, because I'm loving these weekly calls. They're really taking shape.
I'll come in and see if there's any questions I missed. So I'll
the chat today is here as well, so you can go back through the recording and see the questions here as well.
Okay.
Once we finish, it will just be a replay. You can just watch it back. So they'll all stay there as well.
Awesome.
Okay, great.
Thanks very much, everyone, and we'll see you same time next week.
You're all the best.
Thanks, Holly.
Thanks, guys. See you later, you creative cats. Bye.